Good morning. This is Self Love Diaries with Aziza. How y'all doing? How y'all been? Of course, I always tell y'all that this is a place we talk about self love and how to get through life experiences. I may give my personal advice or tell a story that I hope can get you through something. But a lot of times we talk about what's going on around us, okay? And today, I don't even know how I'm going to pull all this together or what is truly my direction. And I'm just hoping that I'm led properly or I allow myself to be led, okay? So, I'm not sure how many of y'all been listening and how long you've been listening, but there was a video I did maybe a year and a half ago where I was talking about how the Euphrates River dried up. Okay? And I do not want this to look or sound like a sermon. Okay? However, I am going to attach some things that I have learned from the Bible into this story. So if that is going to irritate you at all, offend you at all, please have a great day. But in the Bible, they talk about in the last days that the Euphrates River will dry up, right? So that has already happened. Let me get my notes. Also, I just recently had a video within the last couple months where I talked about being afraid of what's going on in the sky and how we're not paying attention to what's going on in the sky and all of these events that are happening. And August 21st of 2017, we had an eclipse that passed through 7 states. Now, I didn't do all of my fact checking on this particular thing. However, it was said that when they did the grid or tracked the direction that the eclipse moved across, it moved across the United States in a certain line where it supposedly passed through 7 cities named Salem, which was that was what sparked my interest when they said that. I was like, what are the odds that if it was to be, passing and making this trail, for lack of a better term, okay, that it would go through 7 cities with the exact same name. I was like, and then Salem, out of all names, okay? So then, October 14th of 2023, there is something called the Corpus Christi, which in our language is called Body of Christ. So the particular route that particular eclipse took went through the Corpus Christi, Body of Christ. Now, they both intersected at a certain point, which I'm not going to give you the intersections and all of that. If you are curious or want to know, look it up. So it made like this, it's a triangle point or almost A, okay? Now, there's one supposed to be happening on the 8th of April, which is supposed to pass through 7 cities as well by the same name. Not Salem. I think one of the kids may have distracted me and I didn't write it down. So I don't even want to pretend or give you the wrong name. Like I said before, look it up. So it's going to be passing on April the 8th. Now this completes the letter A, which is a little strange that these three are making a letter A across the entire country, right? Now, there's some people that have went digging into this, and they have some great theories about what's going on, which I'm not sure if I want to dive into all of that. It's pretty deep. Yeah, it's pretty deep. However, on that same day of April the 8th, we're supposed to have a comet that is also supposed to pass. So the sun, the moon, and a star is going to be doing something at the exact same time, which is phenomenal within itself. But actually scary if you want to talk about the biblical references that are attached to those. You know what I'm saying? Also, in Revelation, it talks about, and don't quote me because I am not a verbatim type of girl, even in conversation. But for any of my Bible people, y'all know what I'm talking about, so don't give me that, okay? But anyway, somewhere in Revelation, they talk about how all of the nations will turn away from this one nation and call it a whore. Look, the only reason why I even remember this is because I remember the first time, I'm not going to say the first time I heard it in church, but the first time that I actually took in the information, right? I believe I was going to St. John in Chicago. But anyway, I can't even remember the pastor's name, but he was talking about this particular part, and I don't know why, but somewhere inside of me, I thought about Lady Liberty and how, you know, she is the representative of the United States, and how everybody looked to her over the last few generations as a staple of overcoming hardships and this and that. But over recent years, this country has been looked at as a whore. Now, the reason why I say this is because, let's be honest, they will do anything and get in bed with anyone and cross anybody for $1. I hate to say it. As much as I love where I, grew up, and I have a strong attachment to this place, it is what it is. Okay. So right now, I just heard that we are at war, and we were about to go or have dropped some bombs or some type of ammos of some sort about these 3 soldiers that got caught up in some stuff over there in Iran. I believe it is. I believe. However, with Iran, Iraq, Turkey, and Syria being so close together, and they're pretty much a close-knit family, if you will, they're going to stand together, correct? And we have North Korea and China ready to go to war with us. And in that manifesto that I was talking about, Project 2025, it clearly states that China, to them, those who have written or came together to write this manifesto, specifically said that China is one of their biggest threats. So they already have it in writing that they are seeing China as a threat to them. And anyone who is a threat to you, you are going to either defend yourself or attack first. It's one or the other. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries that is in potential war with us. And if we get attacked on this land, we won't even know where it's coming from, because we have so many people that are upset with us right now. And then we're not even going to talk about BRICS. BRICS. Okay? This is a company, or should I say a coalition, if you will, of Britain, Russia. I can't remember what the I, C, and S stand for at the moment. I don't know why my brain just went on a blank, but if you want to go look it up, you can. They are getting together, or they have gotten together, and they are trying to come up with a way to basically silence the dollar bill. They are tired of the dollar bill having so much so much strength all around the world. So we also have to add Britain, Russia, and the ICS on top of the 6 that we already counted. This is a problem. Do you know that Russia released a calendar over there? And it's quite, I'm not going to say scary, because I am trying my best not to live in fear. And I also did a video not too long ago saying that there was a lot of crazy things that were going to happen, and we should not live in fear. We should not sit around fearful about what is to come next. Okay, so I am trying to live my life by the same advice that I get on here and attempt to give. However, this calendar is filled with eerie portraits. The biggest one to me out of all the 12 that I've seen was a Russian soldier standing in front of the Capitol building with his gun, and he appeared, it seemed to be quite cartoonish yet real at the same time. It was one of those, I can't even describe it. Anyway, he was standing in front of the Capitol building as if he had conquered something. I didn't see a U.S. flag waving anywhere, which in my mind means that they took it down because it had been conquered. There was another picture on another month with Putin like super swole and cut where you could see his veins, and you know, he was standing there ready for war, and I was like, well, I'll be. And then let's talk about North Korea right quick. maybe a year and a half ago, they did a missile launch from a train. Now, this was out of a boxcar. Think about our train boxcars. The top of the boxcar slid back. The missile stood up and fired. Can you imagine them being so slick that they send a boxcar over here that we are transporting in the middle of one of our trains, and they have the capability of opening the top of it and launching a missile on our land from our train? You know, it's time to get right with the Lord. Get your heart right. Get your mind right. Know that if the day comes, that you're going to be okay in the direction that you're going. Have it be no mistake and very clear where you're going. Now, when I say where you're going, there's a great debate about the where you're going and how you're going to get there, the afterlife and all of that. So I'm not going to get into that with anybody. Everybody believes what they believe. However, the one thing that we all can agree upon is that there is a balance that is needed with it inside. Mind, body, and spirit, your heart, all of these things have to be in alignment for you to make the right decisions, for you to do the right things, for you to make, you know what I'm saying? You got to be in alignment. So, whatever it is that you believe you need to do, I'm not going to get in the way of that, because that's between you, when on Judgment Day, you'll figure it out then, okay? Everybody going to figure out where their classroom is on Judgment Day. So if you made a mistake, hey, I don't know. I hope I haven't. I hope I've done enough good to rewrite some of my wrongs, you know what I'm saying? But at this point, I'm going to lean in and say, okay, I'm just going to trust you, sir. Okay? I'm going to trust you, because things is getting real ugly and real crazy down here. It's getting real ugly and real crazy. But you know what else? One more thing I think that's really weird about this calendar and all of these things is how supposedly Russia just gave Texas saying that they had their back. Whatever happened over here, if they need to help, some help with the borders and all of that. But that would have been a great way to get your boots over here, to turn up the fire, though. Yep, that's genius, actually. And then we also have to think about all of the people that has been invading on this mass migration here. Is everybody just looking for refuge? Or is there some other people hidden amongst those people? I don't know. But I really do think that we need to be watching. Yes, live your life. You can't stop doing that. Yes, continue to whatever you do. But don't stop watching. Because you may need to make a move in a certain direction. And the very last thing I want to touch on, I wasn't going to say anything about this, but it just came on my spirit to say. In that manifesto, Project 2025, they talk about sealing the borders, which sounds wonderful, especially during in the middle of what we have going on right now, right? But a seal, when you seal a bottle or you seal a pipe, you seal anything, nothing gets in and nothing gets out. So what does that mean for the United States population? What does that mean for us citizens? Is that a seal for us as well? I'm just wondering. And I hope you're wondering too. Have a wonderful day. Until next time.